my little video buddy here. Oh, wait. This is the video about how I lost my weight. Sorry about that. We'll fix that later. Alright. Well, as you all know by now, I lost a bunch of weight, and I'd like to talk about that. I will say it's a lot easier to talk about my weight loss than my weight gain, because, spoiler alert, I gained it all back, as you can see. But it was an amazing journey, and I want to kind of take you all through that, because I do believe, by the way, that I'm not a failure. I didn't fail at this. I'm only human. And I want to take you through my weight loss journey because I'm still in it. Is kind of how I feel about that. I feel like I can still get there too. I know I can, actually. But let me take you through some things that I learned and how I lost my weight. And y'all be proud of me. I actually have some notes. That's about all you get from me is one page of notes. I'm trying, guys. I'm going to get a lot better, I promise. But not much of a note person. Sorry. Remy, where you going? You want a treat while we you can't have my cookie. How about we get you a dog treat here while we talk about how I lost my weight. Come on, right here. There you go. Alright, so, my weight... Whatever. Anyway, my weight loss journey started in about mid to late 2017. At that point, I had tried many diets. Oh my gosh. I was 37-ish at that point. And, sorry about the sound of him eating his little treat there. But anyway. So mid-2017, I was determined to finally get a breast reduction that I had been turned down for many times with my insurance. Prior to that, I was turned down for a breast reduction, and prior to 2010, the insurance denied me because they said I hadn't showed enough pain pill consumption, if you will. And it's true. I don't like to take pain pills. I don't like to take any pill if I don't have to. If there's a natural way of doing something, I'm gonna always, even to this day, choose the natural way of doing things. So I'm not a big pill fan, and so I had not gone to doctors trying to get pain pills because the reason I wanted the breast reduction is because my back hurt. I mean, we all know I've clearly had back surgeries. I've had a total of 3 back surgeries. My first one when I was 18 years old, like in 1998, so I was invincible back then, so that was a pretty easy recovery, if you will. So prior to 2010, I had got denied for the breast reduction, and I just figured, oh well, I'm pretty young yet, so whatever. Well, then all of a sudden, in 2010, I had a neck fusion. I have 3 screws in my neck, and unfortunately, I did have to go to some pain pills for that, because that was rough. Pretty rough. And, but I managed on my own, and just tried every kind of diet there was. I've tried Atkins, that was miserable. Weight Watchers. Let me tell you why I failed Weight Watchers. I failed Weight Watchers because I tried to do Weight Watchers in my prime drinking days, if you will, party days. I like the term party days better. Just sounds nicer. And I would come home from the bar, and we all know I live right behind a bar, so everybody comes home to my house, and we usually make some kind of food and whatever. I was a third shifter too, so I enjoy the company. I really do. So I'd wake up the next day, and I have no idea what I made. The kitchen's a mess, and I would have no idea what I made. And how can you track your points if you don't know what you cooked? So me and Weight Watchers didn't get along too well, but I like how they teach you portion control and just to be more mindful of what you eat. But overall, Weight Watchers is just not for me because of the constant counting and constant. It still promotes processed food and things like that. And so in mid 2017, almost to 2018, I went to a plastic surgeon to get a breast reduction. And this guy, I got turned down from him the first time I saw him because of my weight. Now, that, in my opinion, was something that I felt like, all right, I got this. For the first time in my life, I had a goal, an end goal, if you will. Because, to be quite honest with you, losing weight in itself wasn't a big enough goal for me. I know it sounds awful. Don't we all just want to lose weight and get skinny and look good and all that? But that just, clearly I've tried it over the years with several diets. And I think the most success I had on any diet was like I lost 30 pounds and then drank Mountain Dew again. And good Lord, I thought going 3 months without Mountain Dew, sure enough, I can take, you know how like smokers quit smoking and all of a sudden they have a cigarette and it's like gross to them. So I thought, oh man, I've gone 3 months without a Mountain Dew. I'm sure I hate it by now, so I took a sip of this can of Mountain Dew, and it was absolutely glorious. So, gained the weight back then. I even named my first dog Dewey after Mountain Dew, because Mountain Dew was definitely my jam. Soda in general, all the sugary drinks, all the candy. I was a candy kind of kid, man. Jeez, the stuff that I put in my body, it's just awful. So... it literally got down to a science. The insurance said if you can get down to a BMI of 35%, that's calculating my height and my weight and all that. And if I get down to a 35% BMI, then they would actually do the breast reduction. So that was my goal. And in order to do that, though, like there was just a sense of this time it's different, Jen. This time it's different. I've got a goal. And who wants to lose all that weight and then have big ass titties sagging and still putting lots of pressure on my lower spine? Let's not forget that. My back constantly hurt because of my large breasts. And I've just been big breasted my whole life. What can I say? So I because I was extra serious at this time, I actually read a book. And I hate reading. Not because of that I don't enjoy learning. I very much enjoy learning. And that is the key to, in my opinion, weight loss. Is you're going to have to consume some knowledge here. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to maybe read a book, watch some videos, I don't know, something. You can't just do this on your own. You need to learn. Learning is power. I had to learn how to cook. I had to learn how to shop. I had to learn how to portion control. I had to learn about timing, like when you eat food. So the main book I read several, but this is the one I give the most credit to. It's called The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. And I liked that particular book. I'm not saying go out and buy that exact book, that book is the end-all, be-all, cure-all for weight loss. That's not what I'm saying. But he is a doctor, and he... learned a lot from that book. He taught, the main thing I learned in that book is that we need to get back to our natural roots as human beings. Like, think back to caveman days. What did caveman eat? He certainly wasn't eating, ho-hos and ding-dongs and Twinkies and stuff that if you even look on the back of the label of, say, cupcakes or Twinkies are a really good example, because they're just not food. It's just chemicals after chemicals. We have I think it's 56 different names for sugar. That's insane. We've taken food and turned it into a science project and got away from our natural roots. I'll give you an example that he uses in the book about orange juice. Keep in mind, the main thing that one of the words he uses several words over and over, but one of the words he uses over and over, fructose. Fructose, aka sugar, is found in nature, okay? Fructose is found in nature. But here's the thing about nature. nature's amazing because it almost comes with its antidote, if you will. So take an orange, for example. It's got tons of fructose in it. But oranges have a ton of fiber in it that is the antidote to all that fructose because it helps digest. And I didn't even know this. Fiber is the waste that you actually poop out, basically. I really didn't know that. But it helps the digestion process. Fiber is very important to our diet. And what the food industry has done is taken out the fiber from, say, all of our food, but oranges in this case, and made, because what that does, by taking out the fiber, that adds shelf life to the product, and therefore they can sell it and make more money, because we live in a capitalist society, and let's face it, everybody just wants to make money. So oranges, if you take out the fiber, you just have like mush, and they had to figure out how to sell these oranges, and they go stale fast. So they're losing out on money. So what they do is they take out the fiber, and they now have orange juice, and they freeze that, and they can sell that for days on end. And then, but how are they going to sell the orange juice? Oh, we got to market it. How are we going to do that? Oh, well, orange juice is great in vitamin C, so drink up. Drink it for breakfast. Drink it for everything. And they even market it towards breakfast. Since when is an actual drink specifically for breakfast? We were lied to about orange juice, y'all. I'm serious. Lied. Straight up lied. Do not drink orange juice. It's just pure fructose. They took all the fiber out of it, and you're just drinking a glass full of liquid sugar. Very deceived. I feel very deceived from that. Milk is the same thing. How do you make milk healthy? Well, vitamin D, and that calcium or whatever. I don't know. I don't even drink milk anymore. When you really think about it, I personally don't have much of a need for milk because it's lactose. That toast being the main, how you kind of know it's sugar, fructose, lactose. You get it. But I don't eat the cereal anymore. I don't eat, at this time. As you know, I gained the weight back. So, but yeah, I don't have a need for milk because that was just something I feel like I was marketed to so heavy, and it's just overrated. We don't need babies of course need milk, but we don't need milk. Did you know that humans are the only species that drink the milk of other animals? Like, why do we do that? I get it if you need formula if you're a baby or something. That's fine, but we really just don't need milk. I don't know. That one was weird for me. Yeah, we don't need milk. Another thing I learned in the book, this was pretty eye-opening for me. Go down any breakfast aisle in the grocery store, and what do you see? Pure sugar and carbs. Everything from Pop-Tarts to bagels and carbs and jams and jellies, just sugar. Cereal is just sugar. Oh my gosh. Cereal is awful. There's just no such thing as an unprocessed cereal. Fortunately, that cereal was pretty easy for me to give up because I certainly ate a lot of it as a kid. As an adult, too. Anyways. But, donuts. Holy cow. Donuts for breakfast. Like, what are you doing, man? What? Donuts are... all the pastries is marketed as breakfast items. Breakfast is the biggest lie we've ever been told. We do not need just this massive amount of sugar and carbs for our first meal of the day. Another thing he talks about in the book is fasting. Now, I personally never got into fasting. I see the need, and I agree with him. I just personally never got into it. I'm not against fasting. He goes back to caveman days. That term feast or famine. Well, that was real back then. You kill a bear or something, and you feast for a while, and then they didn't have ways of storing food and all that, so they eat it as much as they can, and then it's famine after that. Berries or whatever they can get after that. Hey, editing Jen here. I forgot to give credit, and I cannot believe I forgot to give credit to this other book that I read. by Dr. Robert Lustig. Let me look it up real quick. Sorry about that. The Hacking of the American Mind. The Science Behind the Corporate Takeover of Our Bodies and Brains. I'll post a pic of it here, of it right here. And I apologize to Dr. Robert Lustig because his book was a big inspiration to me too. So if the Obesity Code talks more about the metabolic part of weight loss and weight gain and all that, and what our bodies are responding to, about the food that we eat, and especially just the chemicals that we eat, then Dr. Robert Lustig definitely relates all that to our environment, and it shows how our garbage American diet is a lot to blame. So let me give you a brief synopsis of Dr. Robert Lustig's book, and trust me, I am no book. I'm not a reader, so if I read your book, it's probably a good one because it kept my attention. So basically, Dr. Robert Lustig was a pediatric endocrinologist, so he saw all children, and he noticed over the time of his career that all his patients, his pediatric patients, were getting just larger and larger. Just obesity was just taking over our children, okay? And he gives many stories about how he noticed that pattern. Why are our children getting fatter and fatter? What's going on? And so this book that he writes is that response to what he learned over the years. It's a wonderful book, and he does a great job of wonderful stories. I can't praise that book enough because he's the one that talk about the orange and how basically greed took over our food industry and what it's doing to our bodies, our terrible American diets. So Dr. Robert Lustig, The Hacking of the American Mind, highly recommend it. Definitely look into that one. I'll post it up here. Things and boil it down to what our natural diet is. Another example is like, say if you take a panda and put the panda in captivity. Now I'm not going to get into the captivity of animals. That's a whole nother subject. But take the panda, for example, and you certainly wouldn't feed that panda anything but bamboo. That's what they eat in nature. The panda would die. It eats bamboo. That's its natural diet, its natural environment. So you've got to feed it bamboo. Well, we're doing the opposite of that. Think of humans. We are all in captivity, technically. Why are we not eating our natural diet of proteins and vegetables and fruits and you name it? Grows from the ground, walks on the ground, swims in the sea, whatever. I'm not trying to promote being a vegetarian or a vegan. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about our natural diets. And Dr. Fung does a really good job of explaining how we're humans. We need to eat real food. That term, real food, what does that mean? It means as least processed as possible. Now, keep in mind, the moment you pick an apple from a tree, that's a form of processing that apple. So the term processed is a very misused term, a misunderstood term too. And think of processed food as just unnecessary steps to eat that food. Say that orange, for example. Taking that fructose or taking the fiber out of that orange is an unnecessary process. Eat the orange because it's got the natural fiber in it that helps your body digest that fructose, which is bad for you. We are not meant to eat sugar. Sugar, fructose. It is very damaging to our bodies. And as you can see, America is just getting more and more obese. It's out of control. Diabetes is awful in this country. And I was definitely leaning towards becoming diabetic. My biggest weight was 250. Unfortunately, I'm creeping up to that again. I'll do a video on how I gained my weight back, but that's a later topic because that one's a little harder to film. First of all, because I'm still in the process. I've got some ideas of how I'm going to try to get back to eating natural, but that'll be another video. So, eat real food is definitely something in that book that he really, really hits home with. And that was new to me. Eat real food. What does that mean? So, as little processed as possible. Whether it be a steak or chicken or, your proteins, lots of vegetables. And it was amazing. Eating natural food with as little chemicals as possible and as little processing as possible, I felt fantastic. Okay? I can't even tell you how amazing I felt from about, again, the end of 2017 to upwards, almost 2020, right before I got COVID in October of 2020. So that's kind of the time frame I'm working with. And, man, I felt great. I got off all my meds, and it was great. It was great. But some other things I learned, too, is how extremely hormonal weight loss is, and, well, weight gain, too. Hormonal. He uses the word insulin in that book more times than I can count. I mean, it's ridiculous. Insulin. Insulin, insulin, insulin. Because insulin is what responds when we eat sugar, fructose. Or even that fake sugar, by the way. Very much against fake sugars, too. Believe it or not, there's not exactly that much research on fake sugars, but your body doesn't know it. Your body responds the same as if it's regular sugar or fake sugar or all the crappy chemicals and sugars that are in our food today. Your body doesn't know any better, and it's still going to send the same chemical responses and the same things to your brain, and you're still going to gain the weight. That's why, in my opinion, things like, what's the diet that they send all the frozen food right to your front door, and all you got to do is microwave it? I think they don't advertise that one as much, but I almost considered trying that one. Frozen food diet, where it's just all these chemicals that make this food, last long, and you just put it in the microwave. And how lazy have we gotten? Really, that's how we've gotten to this point, is through laziness and greed, in my opinion. But I didn't learn that truly until I read this book. So he talks about insulin being the main chemical response to the weight gain, and we all know that food is very psychological. We use food for so many different things, and your brain is very much involved in what you eat and how you eat it. And I'm here to tell you, there's no such thing as a magic pill. There's no such thing as you're going to have to learn, and you're going to have to learning how to cook. Oh my gosh. I did. I got to a point where I learned how to cook, and neighbor's building a barn or something, or a shed or something for the first time, so I don't know if you can hear that, but sorry about the pounding. I got to a point where I was just really actually enjoyed cooking. I really did, and I was good at it. But most importantly, I would say the biggest thing that happened to me when I put all the processed food aside and focused on eating natural foods and cooking for myself, basically just trying to eat a protein and vegetable, and I save fruits for a treat. And I am not kidding. They were a treat, because when you don't eat sugar, and I really, really mean this, if you get anything out of this video, it's when you do not eat chemicals and sugar, you don't crave it. You just don't crave it. I'm going to kind of go into some things that changed in my body, both physically and mentally and things like that, after I, like I said, read the book and put it into action. So here's some things that happened to me. First and foremost, I was able to get off all my meds. That was nice. I was on a high blood pressure pill, and you name it, borderline diabetic, and the typical American blah, blah, blah. My back pain was horrible when I was bigger. And so I was able to get that breast reduction. Let's go back to that. I got the breast reduction with that 35 BMI. I got down to, I think, 198 or 199, something like that. And my plastic surgeon, he said, look, I can't. You're like 4 pounds over what you need to be. So, long story short on that one, let's just say I came in the next morning after quite the exhausting evening of running on the treadmill, and well, let's just say I worked pretty hard to lose 4 pounds literally overnight. Got down to, actually I lost 7 pounds overnight, so I think I weighed in at like 192 or something like that, and I had to be 195, so I hustled, but that's beside the point. Got the breast reduction, and I even chose a doctor that does liposuction for the side boob. Yeah, man, seriously, they don't all do that. So this guy, he does. So liposuction, which hurt like a bitch. Man, oh man, that hurt way more than the breast reduction itself. And having the breast reduction relieved me in a lot of ways. So that's what truly, I mean, that wasn't my end goal. I know I started this video out saying that breast reduction was my end goal, but that was the biggest part of my journey, getting that breast reduction, and then leading me back into other goals, which was getting back into sports and being better at it too, not just making the team, but actually, trying to excel at it and be a good part of the team. And I did. I had several moments where it was amazing. I bought my first pair of baseball pants, which I've talked about my baseball pants before. They were legit a moment for me. Because they don't sell like fat people baseball pants. You go to like Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that. There just isn't. Okay, I've been playing sports my whole life, and they don't make those pants for like obese people. So the first time I fit in an actual legit pair of baseball pants was amazing for me, and I did play really well that year, and that was great. That was great. Of course, as you know, I ended up later having the back surgery, and I can't play sports anymore. But whatever. I got that moment to look back on. That was great. So I got off all my meds. I got back into sports, and it cured my sleep apnea too, which is ironic because I'm a sleep technologist, and I did have sleep apnea for quite a while. If you don't know what sleep apnea is, it is where you basically choke on your own anatomy in your neck area, your airway, and it tends to be worse with people that are obese, especially that carry their weight in their neck area, and I did for quite a while. I was very fortunate that when I started losing weight, I actually got my jawline back. That was kind of cool. I kind of got a jawline. You can see I had a jaw back in high school. I drew that in high school. That was nice to actually see my jawline back. And to not have to wear a bra after the breast reduction, I ain't gonna lie, that was cool. That was cool. So I was feeling great. Some other things. That cured my sleep apnea. I was always in a good mood. It's a natural thing when you're not filling your body with all these just unnatural chemicals that just do not belong in your body. It's amazing how good you feel. I wasn't dealing with much physical pain either. So, of course, you're in a better mood when you don't have to deal with a lot of the physical pain. And I think the biggest thing that I look fondly on when I was at my lowest weight, my lowest weight was 170. So I went down from 250 to 170 was the lowest I ever got. I didn't stay at that long, but that's the lowest I got. I absolutely felt amazing. But the biggest thing that stands out to me about that moment in my life is that I had no cravings. I know I already said this, but this is super big. I had so many people like, Jen, just eat a cake. Jen, just, come on, man, you can have a binge day. You can have a day off, man. We're trying to have fun. And that just wasn't, my philosophy was if I'm not craving it, then why even bother? And then I did notice, like, if I would eat something, I would actually get cravings, like, not too long after that. Because that's what these chemicals do that they add. There is literally science behind the chemicals they put in your food to make you crave more of that food. Or to eat more, crave more, which means you buy more, you consume more. Let me give you an example. Cigarettes, actually. The cigarettes that you smoke today are not the same cigarettes that people smoked back in the day. Granted, they're all bad for you. Don't smoke cigarettes. Right. Y'all know that already. But what they do with cigarettes now is they've added so many chemicals that it makes those cigarettes addictive. And we all know and we all agree that cigarettes are addictive. But that's what they've done. That's how they've done that. They've got you hooked. And then, of course, you get the marketing side of things. And, I don't know. I might do a whole video on just the marketing of all kinds of things. Like, I'll give you a quick example. Since when are cigarettes a gender thing? I mean, there's like Virginia Slims. They've marketed those towards women. So marketing plays a big role in our diets and what we eat and what we consume, more so than you ever thought. And I promise you, in that book, man, it really made it hit home. Another example of marketing, and this was in the book too, by the way, about marketing towards children. Now think about that. Me personally, I remember being a kid, and we'd go to the grocery store. We were on food stamps. We're poor, so I knew when the food stamps come, we're going to the grocery store. So my mom would always take me with her, and we'd go down that frozen food aisle, and there was these things called kids' cuisine. Now, I know y'all know what those are, okay? Because as a child, I felt like a king of the world when my mom bought me some kids' cuisines, because I knew that was mine. And she knew it was like an easy cook night for her. She loved it too. Think about this though. Since when is food that you feed your children any different than food that you should be eating as an adult? I'm serious. Think about that. We feed our children garbage. Look at any kid's menu in a restaurant. It's corn dogs, chicken fingers, chicken dinies. Good Lord. We feed our children, it's always French fries, some type of a fried potato. Kids' menus are awful. Why are we feeding our children such horrible, horrible food? It's partly because we're lazy and greed, but it's marketing. Marketing told me that little kid's cuisine was mine. It had little cartoons on it. I think I got a little prize in it. I got a brownie. I felt amazing, but I'm telling you, we gotta feed our kids what we as adult eats as well. And boy, that's gotten out of control. I don't have any children, so I don't gotta worry about that now. But holy cow, we really have gotten out of control with children's food. Think about that. Don't feed your children something you wouldn't eat as well. So children's food was big. So I would say the biggest thing for me, besides just not craving anything, was just the best feeling in the world. So it also led me, that's also when I stopped drinking alcohol. And I would say I drank for about 10 years. And I've talked about my drinking years quite often because I feel like alcohol served a purpose in my life. I'm at peace with all my stupid stories, and I don't really care, but sorry about that, the battery died. I did get a new camera, so still learning how to use it, but let me tell you, I fixed a lot of my lighting problems and my, I don't worry about the screensaver anymore, but I'm getting better at it, but even got like a wide lens, man, this thing is great. So anyways, I also got my other buddy here. Hi, Daisy. Daisy's joining us. I was just about to tell him how I quit drinking. Yeah. Oh, and then, of course, Remy. Yep. I wish I had some super-duper spectacular story and motivating, awesome story about how I quit drinking, but the truth is, y'all don't be fighting up in here. Don't be knocking this camera down, okay? That was my birthday present to myself don't trip over that. See, this is why I don't have them both in here at the same time, but whatever. I'm almost done, I promise. Okay, so I quit drinking. Drinking, though I was a binge drinker, and I was definitely getting towards the end when I was at my biggest. I was on different medications that I personally feel like affected drinking. a lot in negative ways, and so I was already kind of experiencing some like, probably should cut back on the drinking, Jen, cut back on that. It just wasn't as fun for me anymore. But with that said, after I had given up the chemicals and stop eating the sugar, man, I just had no cravings. And then I would still go out and have fun with friends and whatnot. And I would have a drink or two. It's mostly just a beer drinker. And there is sugar in beer, in case you didn't know that. There's actually a lot of sugar in beer. I brewed my own beer for a hot minute, and you add sugar to it. Really. So I would get to the point where I would have like 1 or 2 beers, and oh my gosh, it just tore my stomach up. It was not pleasurable at all. My body rejected alcohol is how I feel. I always say I didn't quit drinking. Drinking quit me. So I feel bad for people that truly are true alcoholics and just cannot give it up for a myriad of reasons. I just wasn't that person. I genuinely changed everything I put in my body, and my body just told me, no more alcohol. We're done with the alcohol. So I hate to say it, but it was easy to quit drinking. I no longer even desire it, even though I've gained my weight back, and I certainly still eat sugar, unfortunately. Again, I'm working on that, and I know I can get back to that. But obviously, I've got some other problems, as you can see, that are more pertinent. But to lose weight, I'm really going to focus on diet. It's food is energy. Food is life. Food is everything. What you put in your body is, food is medicine. What you put in your body is so important. And I really learned that in my 3 to 4 year journey of giving up sugar. Sugar is awful for you. We are not meant to eat sugar. And if you do consume sugar, consume it with fiber, like in the example of the orange. So it's very humbling for me, gaining my weight back. I'll be honest, it's outright embarrassing. Hey, you guys, look, you want a treat? I'm almost done. Let me get done with this, you guys. I'm almost done. Here, treat for Daisy. Oops, sorry, I dropped it. So, it's just embarrassing. It's humbling. I feel like a failure, but I'm only human. I am doing my best, and when I do the weight gain video, I'll tell you how, getting COVID, losing my taste and smell. I'm a COVID long hauler, and then, of course, major back surgery. Definitely played a role in gaining my weight back, but it's not easy. I work with a lot of obese people in my job because of sleep apnea being mostly with obese people, and I understand. I get it, man. I get it. It is. You're set up for failure just walking in the grocery store. They say to go on the outside aisle. And that's true, by the way. Stay on the outside aisle. Don't go in the middle of the grocery store because that's where all the junk is. You guys, seriously. All right, I'm wrapping this up because these dogs are driving me nuts. Listen, I'm only human. I'm humbled. I know I can do it. You can too. But I'm not saying you got to go out and buy the obesity code. But I will say, please, read something. Watch something. Educate. There is no such thing as a magic pill, you guys. You really gotta eat healthy, and you gotta learn. That's all I got for you. Thanks a lot. You guys want to say goodbye too? Goodbye. Goodbye. Hey, just wanted to add. Almost fell. See, finishing this damn cookie, by the way. Seriously though, I wanted to add something that happened to me in the peak of when I was losing the weight. My taste buds actually changed. I mean, like, seriously, I could actually taste food again. It was amazing. So when I say I ate fruit as a treat, I mean it, because that was like the only sugar that I have ever consumed in that whole time period was fructose from, say, an orange or an apple or a pineapple. Those are my 3 favorite fruits. But it was genuinely a treat. I'm serious. My taste buds came back. In that book, he talks about how with high fructose corn syrup, which is just think about it as intensified fructose. That's all it is. It's intensified fructose, and it's just add to our foods because it's cheap, cheap, cheap. Your taste buds don't even have to work anymore. That's how I feel about a lot of the chemicals in the high fructose corn syrup. It's just intensified fructose is what it is. So, yeah, my taste buds actually came back. So, I'm serious. Like, they lost again with COVID. They're gone. My taste buds are shot. Y'all, COVID, I still can't, it's like a year later, I still can't taste or smell that well. So, again, I'll make a different video, but thanks a lot. This cookie's good too, by the way.